When you think of Studio Ghibli, you most likely think of the work of Hayao Miyazaki. These beautifully vibrant works of art that lean heavily into fantasy and adventure. But there's another side to Studio Ghibli that's been there from the very beginning. And that's with Miyazaki's partner and co-founder, Isao Takahata. With the movies helmed by Isao, we still have fantastical stories, like Pompoko and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. But a lot of these stories are a bit more grounded. He excels at slice-of-life dramas, focusing more on everyday life and relationships, instead of a grand narrative. My absolute favorite from him is his 1988 film, Grave of the Fireflies. This is easily the least fun, or enjoyable, Studio Ghibli film. It's a devastating World War II drama about the American air raids over Japan during the final months of the war. A brother is forced to take care of his sister when their mother is killed, and their living situation with their aunt becomes increasingly hostile as she grows resentful of them. Rations are thinning out, as the government is unable to take care of its people, and eventually they decide to leave, to set up residence in an empty bomb shelter. But as the sister slowly becomes malnourished, the brother resorts to stealing crops and robbing abandoned houses during the air raids. But he isn't able to provide a stable environment, and ultimately the sister dies, with him following shortly after. The true story behind Grave of the Fireflies is actually shockingly more depressing than the animated film that we have here. It's based off of a 1967 autobiographical short story that was based on the brother's own experiences. In reality, he didn't die. He was consumed with self-preservation. His baby sister was too far along to even eat, and he ended up eating her share of the food. And after cremating her, he took off to find any remaining family that he had left. His short story is a reflection of his guilt, his regrets, and him coming to terms with what he had to do to survive all those years ago. His character in the movie is an idealized version of himself, making the sister his priority. Every horrible thing he did was to get her healthy. The ending with both of their deaths is how he feels his story should have ended. But the reality of their situation was bleak. It was utterly hopeless. And like her, he was just a child. And there was nothing he could have done to save her. So naturally, he held on to that guilt for the rest of his life. Grave of the Fireflies is a hauntingly beautiful film. It captures the devastation of the townscape and the hardships of its people without pulling any punches. It captures these small moments of happiness, days that were substantial and hopeful. But in the end, these little moments of joy just sting that much more because of what's inevitably going to come. By the time you reach the final moments of rice balls made of dirt and the sister sucking on marbles, it's impossible not to be completely torn apart. This is an extremely painful experience, but it's so poignant, with it being based in reality, that it's a tremendously valuable watch. It might be the most unpleasant Studio Ghibli film, but it's also one of the most impactful, and I just can't recommend it enough.
Made of